Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Angel Says Art. I'm doing art reactions. And I myself, I'm a painter, as you can see. And I'm a digital artist, as you can see. But one of my passions is reactions. I enjoy reacting to people living their life and or doing awesome things. So Architectural Digest sat down with an artist called Maris Jones, and I'm sad to say I did not know who she was until I found out that she worked with Chappell Roan. She did an interview and I want to react to it with you all. So ready, set, go. Get a snack, everybody. A little ASMR for you ASMR folks.
Design moments for Chappell Roan's television appearances. They asked if I could make an apple bong, and I immediately said yes. But if I'm excited about something, I'll just say, I'll do it.
That is absolutely amazing. Apple bong. She make that out of foam?
I was actually on vacation at the time, so I actually drew out the apple on a napkin by the pool. I'm Maris Jones, and I create cinematic, nostalgic worlds in my Brooklyn studio.
Oh my God, yes!
I just really been calling myself a world builder at this point. It encompasses all of the elements of what I do. I film, I act, I do set design, I do lighting, I build the set, I pick out my outfit, I do my makeup, I edit. I'm just doing it all and acting as a one-woman film crew at this point.
I love this so much because this is actually bringing me back to my own childhood. So a little fact about me, I'm the only child, okay? And so when there was nobody to play with, nobody to play with, right? I would come up with these massive productions. I wish my mom, hi mom, my mom was often my only audience member. Keep in mind, I'm not only an artist, but in school, like in high school, I did musical theater, lots of dance all the way through college. So I also have a little bit of a performer's bone. So I would write plays and these massive productions, and then I would make the costumes from scrap material. So there's something, I love this. Okay, love it.
Recently, I designed a set for Chappell Roan's SNL appearance. It was so exciting. This job really just reminds me of what being a creative's like. It's just having fun and exploring and expanding these different worlds.
Wow. She has a book coming out.
One marker.
All right, so this is my living room. I really just wanted to make this space something that was a little bit cleaner and more curated than my studio because it's kind of crazy. Honestly, my studio is just down the street from my apartment, which is me.
Her studio is everything, okay? Honestly, not totally my vibe because I couldn't work like that, but that's only because I'm a little type A when it comes to stuff like that because I'm neurodivergent for folks who, know what I'm talking about. And my ADHD sometimes can't, I'm kind of the opposite of some with ADD. I have to visually see cleanliness in order for my brain to function. Otherwise, if it's not cleanly, I'm not cleanly up here, right? Makes sense? I'm envious. I'm envious of her space because it's so beautiful and so full of so much creativity. I just see so much going on there.
You making a compromise to not working in my apartment. A little pigeon monument with flamingos, of course.
I'm currently working in my house. This is my art space. This is where I work and film my videos. So that, sis, I get it. There's something to be said about being able to go somewhere and close the door. And that is something that I don't have right now, is when you are engulfed in a project of some kind and you want to leave it right where it's at because you're gonna come back to it, because I do that. I have no door to close. So that, yeah, that's tough.
And this one has a little peg leg. Lost its leg, so my mom made a little peg leg for it. That's how you know your parents are artsy. She's like, oh yeah, I'll fix it. Stuck a toothpick in it. I was like, thanks, Mom. My parents are both artists. They honestly were upset if I didn't do artistic things. So I was submerged into art like from day one. It was just my life. My dad shared with me so many things. He showed me this movie, the original Clash of the Titans from the 1980s. I was blown away by the effects. These mystical creatures were moving with animation, and I just wanted to know how to do that.
Shout out to Maris's parents. You rock, parents. Listen, her parents is me, you know, but I'm like, no, you have to have creativity in your life. You have to be a whole person. I'm like her parents. I'm almost upset if they're not doing something creative, which they always are. Yes. So I say all that to say, shout out to the creative parents.
My dad showed me how to do stop motion, and ever since then, I was carrying a video camera around. When I graduated college, social media was also really taking off. I was home for the summer, and I just decided to start
That's my German Shepherd, Dolan.
creating social media content on Vine. And I realized that there was this place to freely create and make whatever I wanted to make. And I could reach an audience and maybe get my voice out that way. This is my brand new record setup that my dad just set up. One of the reasons why me and my partner got together was we love Paul Rodgers. If you don't know who Paul Rodgers is, he's awesome. I love classic rock music. So I also simultaneously was cutting out little paper heads of musicians and animating their mouths moving up and down with paper and watercolors. I realized if I had a concept in my head, I could create the prop out of computer paper, like just drawn with a Sharpie and watercolored. It got my concept across, which I think at the end of the day, it's about just like the creativity of the concept half the time.
This is brilliant. You want to know what I also love about this? There is a childlike connection to what she's doing, and I love this. Honestly, Henry would be stuck with me for life. I've had random characters and statues in my house. The one time I had like a life-size Yoda in my house. Yeah.
Sorry. If I'm excited about something, I'll just say, like, I'll do it. I have done a couple design moments for Chappell, Roan's television appearances. They asked if I could make an apple bong, and I immediately said yes, but I was actually on vacation at the time, like for the first time as an adult. And so I didn't have like any of my like equipment with me. I didn't have like my iPad that I draw on. So I actually drew out the apple on a napkin by the pool. We got it done in a very short period of time. I got a bunch of people to help me, which was so phenomenal because we needed to create a big, large, round shape. And I do not have the space to shave down that much foam.
It was
found
foam.
Some fabricators to help us create the shell. And the weed nuggets are made out of insulation foam spray that I just sprayed and painted them green. And I made the lighter.
The weed nuggets are made of insulation foam. This is so amazing. I would have absolutely loved this. This is like a dream. This is an absolute dream.
And I also had to figure out the smoke effects. It was just a fun little community of people creating this. My friends and I carried it up 4 flights of stairs and built it all out and brought it there, and no rehearsal, just went out, and it was just such a surreal, crazy moment just to like help that vision come like to fruition. It was such a unique experience. It was crazy. It wasn't always like this at all. I didn't have a studio. I was shooting in my house. So I was here in New York. I had 4 roommates. It was like a railroad. There was no windows, but we had like a kitchen, living room hybrid with like an empty wall. So while they're in school, like doing their work, I can just like move some furniture aside, go to the dollar store and buy those plastic tablecloths that are different colors. And I would just like pin them up on the kitchen wall, take like the table lamp, point it at wherever I was filming and make these little videos. I eventually moved again, and me and my roommate next time decided instead of having like a living room, we would just make it an art space. So then I started to have a little bit more space. As time goes on, I added more things and I could afford more props. And then all of a sudden I was in a new studio in Brooklyn. I still am evolving and growing, and it's just super cool to see how you just stick to like what you love to do.
I absolutely love this. I identify with like this idea of maximalism and just being surrounded by the things that you love. I mean, because look at my space. Oh my God. But I like it to have like make sense, but being surrounded by these things, these little treasures that bring you joy, they make you smile and they bring you inspiration. I love that.
Love fun curtains. I just wanted something that was not just going to be safe. I love to go bold. So part of me is like a little bit rebelling, being like, yeah, I'm getting this furniture and I like it.
Her cat looks like my cat. Just saying.
My mom's like, it's so not cute. And I'm like, it's not yours. It's fun. So crazy credenza, partially because of parents. I love this thing. This is so silly because it barely gives off any light, but I saw this at a vintage store and I love when things are just obnoxious. My dad's artwork is on the wall. He actually was in the same studios as I was, which is actually how I found my studio space. I kind of took over that space. When he wasn't there, I would pay the rent. When we finally lived on our own, we were like, oh, we have space for a dining room table. We just saw this at a vintage store and the base was just so cool. Honestly, this table to me symbolizes just having the space to actually have a dining room table, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. As somebody who grew up in the city their whole life, I've always lived in apartments. And as an adult, this is my first home. And yeah, I get that. It's kind of like a flex. To have a space where you can actually have a table. But you know what? I just want to speak to the fact that her and her dad shared a space, and when he wasn't there, she would pay the rent and take it over. Love it.
I love that Brooklyn is quieter. There's a little bit more space, I think, in Brooklyn. Cool art spaces and studios are in this area. It's such a natural, easy place for me to be, and I love it.
Love New
I can't
York.
imagine myself ever leaving here. I've never felt so much at home. Editor from Random House reached out, who was just a fan of my work, and said, you know, I really think you could create a really great book for people. Would you want to maybe come up with something? And I immediately was just like, I think I could be just really helpful
I need her book.
explaining how to like kind of be your unique self. You can be uniquely you and you have all the answers already. Creating doesn't have to be like this crazy, like obscure concept that's far away. Like, or if you want help designing your living room, I could help you just relax.
Yes, Maris. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Oh, what an inspiration.
To be yourself, you know, and I really just want to be able to share that.
Aw.
This is my book. Honestly, it's so surreal for it just to be within my space, you know, a part of my design. It is like a weird, surreal meta moment. I don't think I'll ever get used to that feeling, honestly. I'm very good at not thinking about the outcome of a scenario. I went for it. Then afterwards, it's like, oh, wow. Hopefully I finish this photo booth today before the party tomorrow.
I've seen you do stuff like this before. You get it done.
There's so many things going.
Aw, partner. Yes. I've seen you do stuff like this before. I've seen you get it done. He sounds like my husband. My husband is just so like this all the time. And I'm always like, I need you to tell me that I'm gonna make it. I'm just so dramatic all the time. And so it's so nice to have partners that are just, you got this.
Going on for this book launch. I'm definitely down to the wire creating this photo booth. I said that it would be done on Saturday, but it's now Monday. I still definitely have like a little bit more to do. So I'm working really hard to create this, to make it like as magical as possible for people. And then there's like a lot of other administrative stuff that's happening simultaneously. So like promoting the book, you know, getting people excited. We'll see if I get it all done in time. This party is just super Studio 54 and sparkly and amazing. It's just about people all coming together in a very specific time. It's Sweet 16 almost. This book is
love her outfit.
It's really just like a big celebration of what I've ended up building so far in the last like bunch of years that I've been doing this. It's just a super exciting thing to be able to share and celebrate with all these people that I've built this community around. I wrote out my speech, so I've always felt a bit behind, like everyone else knew more or was into the right things, but instead of letting that hold me back, I embraced it. When you put your heart into something, you gain more than what you've ever imagined. That's the magic of creativity.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much because that speaks to the truth of for all of us creatives, no matter what it is that we do. And I identify with that so much. I'm jealous though, because I wish I was the type of person that just jumped into things and didn't think about the other side of things. I don't let my fear get a hold of me, but I am the type of person I got to have a plan B, plan C, plan D, E, F, G, in order. That's just who I am. But I also was blessed with this unrealistic, crazy, over the top belief in myself.
Everything takes time, and it should take time because you can't possibly know everything all at once because you haven't experienced it yet. Understand that like you have a lot more time than you even realize. Life is going to continuously be a journey of exploration. We live in a time where there's just so many endless possibilities, and all the things you create are just stepping stones to learn one more thing about yourself.
That was amazing to watch. I love seeing other people's creative process. I don't know about all of you. I geek out on seeing how people live because I think that says a lot about you as a person. Love seeing people's workspaces. But to see, this was an amazing architectural digest. Yes, round of applause, AD. You did a good one. I often say that I think art is made out to be way more complicated than it needs to be. I think art is exactly what it is. They say art is subjective and all these things. It is, but I think so many things can be art. And maybe some people would argue and say, well, I don't think she's doing art. I think she's doing crafts. I think she's crafting. Listen, to me, I think the lines blur when you're talking about arts and crafts, art, because to me, I think artistry is just creativity. Artistry is just the way that we create and then express ourselves. So I think that's music. I think that's dance. I think that's scrapbooking. I think it's writing poetry. I think it's journaling. This was awesome. I'm so glad that I watched this with you all. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this. If you're still here, then you must have enjoyed something about this. So I hope that you like, subscribe, and engage in the comments. And while we're on the subject of Chappell Roan, look at this. I did a piece of Chappell Roan recently. I'm so inspired by Chappell Roan's style because there's just something about transparency that I am drawn to. And I try to be that as an artist. All right, until next time, everybody. And if you have any suggestions also of what I can react to, Architectural Digest's channel and give them some love, show them some thumbs up and thumbs up this video. We always want to respect creators and I like to give props and credit where it's due. Go out into the world, stay artsy fartsy, spread love, light, energy. Peace, everybody.